No one sees Slender Man all at once. First, they notice something wrong with the trees, then the silence, then a shape so tall and still it does not look human until it moves. He is always described the same way, even by people who have never met, never spoken, never even lived in the same country. A man without a face, skin pale as paper, a black suit stretched over a body too thin to be natural, arms that hang too long, fingers like twigs. And when he stands among trees, he looks less like a person and more like a shadow that learned how to stand upright. Imagine a man taller than any basketball player, rising near the height of a small streetlight when he fully unfolds. And when he wants to look bigger, when fear is ripening in the people watching him, something opens behind him. Not wings, not exactly. Long black tendrils moving like living smoke, like roots pulled out of the earth and taught to hunt. That is Slender Man. Most people think he began as an internet myth, a modern horror story built from old fear, a faceless figure in old photographs, a rumor passed through forums, a name whispered in dark bedrooms after midnight. But that is the easy version, the safe version. Because the deeper story is older than the internet, older than cameras, older than the name itself. Across different countries, in different centuries, there are stories about a tall watcher in the woods, a figure with no face, a creature that appears near children, near grief, near people already carrying some quiet darkness inside them. In one place, he is a spirit, in another, a collector. Somewhere else, he is simply the thing you do not look at directly if you want to go on living. And maybe that is why the modern legend spread so fast. Slender Man did not feel invented. He felt remembered. In one version of the story, it begins with a group of teenagers who think fear is just entertainment. A birthday sleepover, a basement, phones out, lights off, too much confidence. They find an old ritual online tied to Slender Man sightings, half challenge, half joke. Watch the screen, follow the steps. Do not open your eyes until the third sound. They laugh through the instructions because laughing makes people feel safe, because nothing terrible ever starts with people admitting they are afraid. So they do it. They sit in a circle, eyes closed. A video flickers on a laptop. At first, there is only static and faint ringing. Then the room grows strangely cold. The girls start hearing footsteps where there should be none. One of them almost opens her eyes too early. Another grabs her friend's hand so tightly it hurts. Then the third sound comes. They open their eyes, and for a split second, he is there. Not on the screen, in the room. Standing at the far end of the basement, too tall for the ceiling, head tilted, blank face aimed directly at them. Then the laptop begins flashing images too quickly to understand. Trees, missing posters, distorted faces, a dark shape between branches. The whole thing ends in a burst of white noise, and just like that, it is over. The lights come back on. Everyone starts talking at once. Nervous laughter, shaky smiles. They call it a prank, a glitch, a dumb stunt. But the damage is already done. Because Slender Man does not always take you immediately. Sometimes he starts with dreams. One girl begins waking in the middle of the night to find herself standing in a forest she has never seen before. There is fog everywhere. Every tree looks the same. No matter how far she runs, she always ends up back at the same trunk, marked with a symbol she remembers from the ritual. She never sees him clearly in the dream, only his arms reaching from behind the trees, only the feeling that something patient is letting her exhaust herself first. Then another girl disappears on a school trip. It happens in daylight, which somehow makes it worse. There are teachers, students, open ground, no place to hide. One second she is there, staring toward the woods at the edge of a cemetery. The next, she is gone. No scream, no struggle, no footprints leading in or out. Just a backpack left on the grass, and a silence that falls over everyone who saw the spot where she had been standing. After that, fear stops being shared and becomes personal. One girl hears someone moving around downstairs while her parents are out. Another begins seeing a tall figure outside second-floor windows where no person could possibly stand. One gets a video call from an unknown number and answers, only to find her own house on the screen, filmed from across the street. The camera slowly zooms in on her bedroom window. Then the feed cuts to black. Their world starts shrinking. School hallways feel longer, mirrors become unbearable. Every tree line looks occupied. Every ringing phone feels like a warning. They do what people always do when they are truly desperate. They investigate. They search the missing girl's room and find pages covered in sketches of faceless figures, forests, circles of crossed-out eyes, notes about offers and exchange. On her laptop, buried in old forum messages, they find people describing the same pattern over and over. First sightings, then nightmares, then hallucinations, then loss. The more attention Slender Man receives, the stronger he seems to become, not because he feeds on blood, not because he wants violence, but because he feeds on fixation. He grows in the space your mind makes for him. That is what makes him so frightening. He is not just a monster hiding in the woods. He is an idea that learns your shape from the inside. The more you fear him, the easier it becomes for him to enter your dreams, bend your senses, and turn your own thoughts against you. By the time people around you realize something is wrong, half of the battle is already happening where no one else can follow. The girls try one final bargain. They go into the forest at night, carrying the things they love most. A childhood keepsake, a photo of a lost parent, a gift from someone they cannot bear to disappoint. They believe that if they destroy what matters most to them, if they prove the depth of their grief, they can trade memory for mercy. So they stand in the dark with blindfolds tied over their eyes and wait. Branches groan overhead, leaves stop moving, the air thickens. Then something begins circling them. One girl panics and rips off the blindfold. That is the mistake, because Slender Man should never be looked at directly. She sees him only for a second, but it is enough. The suit, the white, empty face, the tendrils opening behind him like some impossible black flower. She runs screaming into the trees, and the others hear her voice break apart in the dark until there is nothing left but wind. After that, the group is no longer trying to save each other. They are trying to outlast a curse. And that is where Slender Man becomes unforgettable. Not because he kills loudly, not because he chases like an animal, but because he erases people slowly. He takes sleep, he takes certainty, he takes the border between what is real and what is imagined, and once that border is gone, there is nowhere left to hide. That is why people still remember him, because Slender Man is more than a story about a creature in the woods. He is the fear that something can enter your life through a screen, through a dream, through a thought, and once invited in, never fully leave. Maybe he was born online, or maybe the internet just gave an ancient thing a new face. No, worse than that. It gave a faceless thing a way to be seen. And if you've made it this far, if you can already picture him standing just beyond the trees, tall and silent and waiting, then the story has done what it always does. It has brought him one step closer.